Now, tip number 3 is one that I actually have a tattoo on my body to help me remember. And the tattoo is the continual plight for self improvement in Mandarin. And what it reminds me of is that life is a continuous learning journey. And a true hero's journey, a true superhero's journey, is one of continuous learning. We realize that we don't know everything. We'll never know everything. And again, going back to um, my dear friend, Dr. Strange here, that moment of realization that just because you've become really good at something doesn't mean that you know everything. And there's always room for expansion of awareness, expansion of knowledge. And it doesn't make you dumb if you don't know everything. But man, your inner critic would have you believe that. And your inner critic will certainly have you feel less than if someone points out a growth opportunity for you, or somebody in some way says, hey, can you do this instead of this? And then you're like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Why am I so dumb? No, it just means that, hey, somebody saw something that you didn't see. They're pointing it out. You could grow from it or you could choose not to. But here's a growth or a learning opportunity. What do you choose to do with it? And your inner champion's going to know that it has choice in that. Your inner critic is going to put you in a box and make you feel stupid and put you in a corner. Which one do you want?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how much more I can add to that because, I mean, yeah, it's an easy one. When we look at the world and it just seems like a lot of people have their stuff together, or like, oh wow, this person is inspiring. They know it all, or they've got it all. And like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have this? Why can't I learn it? And that realization that most people are just making it up along the way, just like all of us are. I mean, no one's ever come out of this life alive, right? And so, we all have something to learn. There's no end result that is like the top tier situation that everyone wants to achieve. It's not like a video game in that sense. This may or may not be a simulation, but it's not a video game.
Depending on what you believe, perceive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder because, yeah, sometimes it does feel like we should just already know everything, or we should already know something. And then we feel bad about ourselves. We have this spiral effect and yeah, it should be okay if we don't know something. I don't know should be an acceptable answer.
Yes. We talked about this a little bit in a previous podcast. Like, I don't know is actually a really fun answer.
Yeah.
Because then that means that there's so much more that you get to learn and experience.
Yeah. And it's vulnerable, right? As you were talking about in that podcast, is right. It's a way to show authenticity. When a couple months ago we had this flow of politicians, right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like the carousel of politicians. People were asking something, and almost none of them would ever say, "I don't know something," because of this fear that they wouldn't get elected because they would be viewed as dumb. But
There
were a
was
couple,
one.
that hey, I don't know, and that's okay. Like that was actually for me. It was like, oh yeah, this is a person. This is an authentic person who is like, hey, I don't know, and I'm willing to find the people who do know this, who can help me learn, and we can all learn from this and grow. It's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like this is what I want to see from leadership, whether it's in politics or in business or in faith or science or school or education. I mean, anything. It's exactly, even in a relationship. I mean, how often do we talk about it's not about being right? It's about being vulnerable, about being authentic. And if one of us says, I don't know, that doesn't make one of us feel like the other one is stupid. It's just It's like, hey, okay, then either A, I'm happy to guide you and show you, and we can do this together, and that's fun. Or hey, I don't know either. So let's learn together. That sounds fun. So either way, it's great.